I've only ever hit one game-winning shot in basketball. My team was down by 2 points with 4 seconds left. 2017 at a competition down here in Wollongong. My cousin Matt is about to inbound the ball, and I'm trying to get free from my defender, and I finally get free. He passes an amazing pass, threads the needle. I catch it with about 2 seconds left, fade away, and believe it or not, hit the shot. Matt chased me around the stadium, tackled me to the ground, and everybody stacked on. It was a moment I'll never forget. I was truly on top of the world. A few days later, however, I came back down to earth big time. My car had broken down on one work morning. It was Wednesday, I believe, and I desperately needed to get to work. And I thought, who can I call? I called Matt. I told him about the situation that was happening, and I said to him, my car's broken down. I need you, brother. What can you do for me? 15 minutes later, Matt pulls up out the front, drops off his car, no questions asked. It's the kind of bloke Matt was. And a bit of a whirlwind up and down week that I had. On the Friday, me, Matt, Luke, my other cousin, and 2 friends were going to Sydney for the weekend. Originally, we're going on the Friday to a water park called Wet and Wild in Sydney, for those that know what that is. 5 adults running around, pushing each other down slides. It was unreal, feeding that inner kid at us. We finish up there, and then we get in the car to go to the hotel. Matty calls ahead. He told the hotel that it was his honeymoon, trying to get something for free. 5 adults in a 3-bedroom apartment. Surely not, right? So we walk there, we get to the hotel, we check in, we get upstairs. It worked. We go into the main bedroom. There's a card for me and Matt, because my name was on the booking. There were roses on one of the beds, on one of the 3 beds, mind you, and a bottle of champagne on ice that said, congratulations. We could not stop laughing, and we could not believe that Matty created that. While we were there, we were starting to plan an Australia Day little get-together. All the same people, but this time around it was with our partners. And we were trying to decide who had to bring what. And in my opinion, Matty had the most important job of all, the wine and the cheese platter. I think we can all agree. If you've been to one with bad wine and cheese, I feel sorry for you. So we sorted it. That's what Matty was bringing. A few weeks go by. I wake up on Australia Day. I'm stoked. I'm about to see one of my best mates, or multiple of my best mates, and their partners to come along. I get a message at 9 a.m. that said, hey bro, I'm not feeling too good. I'm not going to be able to make it today. I thought that was pretty strange, given Matt was one of the most reliable humans in my life. So I went to go right back with anger, to be honest. Hey bro, that sucks. If anything, can you just drop off the wine and cheese platter? It sounded pretty shit, I know. Sore. But for whatever reason, call it a high power, call it whatever you want, I took a breath, and instead of responding like that, I sent him a message back that said, hey brother, hope you feel better soon. Let me know if you need anything. On the 27th of January, the next day at 1 p.m, I get a call from Luke, my cousin, asking if Matt was with me. I said no, and I hadn't heard since yesterday, and that they were worried about him. We both agreed, as soon as we got off the phone, that if we heard from Matt, we'd call or text the other person to let us know that he was okay. I get off the phone from Luke, and I start calling Matt, begging him to just get back to me, texting him, just saying, please, brother, whatever you're doing, just let me know you're okay. I was starting to get angry, thinking, not only didn't you come yesterday, now everybody's worrying about you today. Time went incredibly quickly. I'm on the edge of my bed, still calling, still waiting to hear back from Matt. And I see Luke's car pull up out the front. That's strange, given that we agreed that he'd call or text me. I rush out, go up the driveway, and then Luke gets out of the car, comes down and sees me, and then says, words I never thought I'd hear in my life. Hey bro, they found Matt. He's dead. He always said he was okay, and I believed him. Matt, the same person that was pushing me down a water slide a few weeks ago, the same person that had the biggest laugh in the room that said it was his honeymoon, was gone. After his death, his incredible wife, Christy, created these shirts, #TalkToMeBro, originally for the pallbearers to be able to raise awareness at Matty's funeral. Now, there is a reason why I'm wearing such a tight shirt. I know it's cutting off circulation at the moment. I was thinner. This is 8 years ago now. And they're originally a shirt to raise awareness. And it was amazing at the funeral to be able to try and get people to speak, but we knew it could do more. And then Talk to Me Bro went from that, and it grew into one-on-one mentoring in the Illawarra. And it was doing so well for young people, and we were making an impact, but we knew we could do more. And then we branched from there. We started running workshops to go out to schools, workplaces, gyms, you name it, to educate and to empower people to take control of their mental health so they didn't just have to go through what we did. We knew we could do more still, though. And we had our first community event ever, a big community free catch-up. It was originally a swim and a coffee just behind Wynn Stadium here. And to start with, it was mostly my friends coming to support me. We went for a swim. But each week, we saw more faces and more faces turn up. And so I got to a spot, we were on the beach at 200 people. We nearly needed a bigger beach, to be honest. It was unbelievable. And at the same time, one of my best friends from Newcastle, who sadly lost a friend in 2018 to suicide, he started talking to me, bro, in Newcastle. And it was going so well. The growth was there, the connection there, and the community was there. Until we got it to a space where Talk to Me Bro is today. And as of now, Talk to Me Bro has over 150 trained volunteers, some of the best people in the world. Last year we facilitated over 700 events throughout Australia. And as of right now, Talk to Me Bro has facilitated to over 128,000 people face to face. Well, 128,000 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That landed pretty good. But through that, we've also learned through data. And I don't like using the word data when it talks about suicide because we're referring to a number, but it's not a number, it's a person. And what we've learned through this, or what I've learned through this over the years, is that each year in Australia, 65,000 people attempt to take their own life in Australia. So to put it into context, I've been told that Wynn Stadium, just over here, a local stadium in Wollongong, can hold 22,000 people at capacity. That's that stadium filled up 3 times over of people that attempt to take their own life. We've learned for every suicide, on average, 135 people are impacted. Brothers, sisters, family, friends. People like you and me. The data shows that men die at a higher rate, 4 times higher in fact, whereas women have a higher attempt rate. We've learned that suicide is a human problem and that pain doesn't discriminate. But along the way though, we've learned some incredible things and how to look out for ourselves as well as how to look out for each other. You see, somewhere along the line, the question, how are you going, stopped being a real question. It's a question we ask to get to the next question, more so a pause than anything else. Something we ask when we're awkward. We go to a shop and go, hey, how you going, mate? Can I have this? We ask such an important question, yet we don't give people the time to be able to answer it. And someone could be breaking down or struggling right in front of us, and we'd never know. You see, with Matty, I asked how he was going, but I don't think I ever really gave him the opportunity to be able to talk and open up. Not in a way that said, brother, you can tell me anything and I'll stay. If I had one more chance or one more opportunity to sit with Matty, I'd give him the biggest hug that I could. And I'd ask, how are you going? Now, Matty would probably respond like he used to, yeah, not too bad, bro, how about you? And try and deflect onto me. But then with what I know now, I'd pause, take a breath, and then I'd ask it again. How are you really going, Matty? Because what I've learned is this, is that the first answer is a habit. The second answer, better yet, is often where the truth lives and where we have the opportunity to be able to support that person, to be able to open up and answer honestly and authentically. And I wish I had that opportunity again with Matty. But all I can do now is move forward with what I know. Over the years, I've been fortunate enough to support hundreds of people. And what I've learned, when someone feels seen and when someone feels heard, it gives them it can be the difference, better yet, between giving up and holding on. Not because I had the answers, but because I listened and because I stayed. Presence doesn't solve everything. I completely get that. But it can interrupt even the darkest moments. And in that moment of interruption for that person, we have the opportunity to help. And I've seen this firsthand over the years. A few years after Matty passed, I'm going for a walk down the harbour with a friend of mine. They seemed a little bit off. So we're going for a walk and I go, just down at Wollongong Harbour. And I said, how you going? He went, yeah, not bad, mate, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't copping it. I didn't believe it. We keep walking along. We go somewhere a little bit more private. We take a seat. I took a breath, said, brother, how are you really going? And simply waited. 15 seconds go by, 20 seconds go by. It's awkward, and the silence was incredibly loud. I look over at him to see what's going on. He was going to get back to me. And tears were rolling down his face. And he said, yeah, I'm not bad, brother. I'm struggling big time. I'm going through a separation right now, and I haven't seen my kids in ages. We sat in that spot for over an hour as he told me how he was far from not bad. We didn't solve everything that day, but we made a plan, a good plan, to be able to get him help and to be able to get him supported. And from that moment, just down at the harbour, it's taught me so many things, as well as working with humans in general. And that is, I didn't need to have all the answers, and I didn't need to be an expert. I just needed to listen, really listen, without trying to fix it. And since then, I've learned that this kind of looking out and this kind of connection can be done with something as simple as asking twice. So what does asking twice look like? Well, I've narrowed it down to 3 easy steps that we can all leave this room today and have the opportunity to be able to support people and as a group easily be able to lower suicide throughout Australia. And the first step is ask again and mean it. The second important one is listen without fixing. It's so often we want to try and help. I'll speak from the I want to try and help people and fix their problems. And the third is don't rush the silence, because the silence is where the gold is. Now, do I think this is going to stop suicide completely? No, I don't. But will it help? Absolutely. We have the opportunity to be able to help people and to be able to support them, because what I've found through talking to people in my own lived experience is that people that are struggling with suicidal ideation often don't want to die. They want that pain to end, and we have the ability to be able to support people going through that pain. And we all have that opportunity. And that doesn't have to happen just in our close friendships or relationships. This kind of looking out can happen, I tell you what, maybe even as we leave the room. Being able to look out for each other. It can happen at home. It can happen in a number of different areas. I'll never know if asking Maddie a second time would have changed anything. But I do know it changed me. I've learned that even the happiest person that lights up the room with the biggest smile can often be struggling the most. And if you're listening to this right now thinking, well, no one's ever asked me that, or I don't have anybody, please hear this. You're not alone and you're not invisible. Those thoughts telling you that the world would be better off without you, they're lying. And as hard as it is to see right now, is that feelings can and do change, and pain can and does shift. And I've seen this firsthand. You've survived 100% of your worst days so far. That's strength. And you're alive. You're listening to this talk, whether it's in person, whether it's online. If you're alive, there's hope. And hope doesn't have to be loud. Hope can be something as simple as staying for one more day, reaching out one more time, making one more call. Because reaching out isn't weakness, it's strength. And I believe I wouldn't be here today if I hadn't done that myself. After Maddie passed, I was trying to fill the void, drinking, gambling, till I got to a space where I didn't want to be here either. But I decided to do what Maddie didn't do and what I know he wanted me to do. And that was to be able to put my hand up and to be able to get help. And certainly, I know I wouldn't be here without the help of two amazing people in the room, my mum and dad, that are saying this. I wouldn't be here without them as well. I was able to work through that rough patch to be able to put my hand up and to be able to get support. And you can too. You don't have to change everything right now. You have to take the first step. A call, a text, writing down what you would say if you had the opportunity to say it. I can't go back and change anything with Maddie, but I can surely honour him by showing up for the next person. And I believe you can too, especially if that person is yourself. Ask again and stay.